instinct you had that turned out to be correct?
My boyfriend's best friend is in love with him. He was always dismissive of my concerns when it came to her. He always claimed I was jealous of nothing and that she was doing nothing. We, 27F/30M, met at work, a typical office romance between colleagues. We were hired just weeks after each other and basically worked in one department. We often passed by each other in hallways until he asked me to go out with him one time. He didn't even know my name at that time. I was also mildly attracted to him anyway, so I said yes. I'm a middle child with a brother and sisters, while he's an only child. I mention that because I want to explain that I know sisterly and brotherly love. I have girlfriends and guy friends. And I'm close with them. He has his set of guy friends as well, but his best friend is a girl who has been with him since they were in diapers. It wouldn't have been an issue because, as I said, I understand platonic relationships between opposite sexes. But I can honestly say that his relationship with his best friend bordered on, if not already, romantic. During my first meeting with the best friend, I got a feeling that her love for him wasn't as innocent as she claimed. She was very territorial with him. Her tone when she introduced herself was overly sweet and she was super touchy-touchy with my boyfriend. Little touches, like holding onto his arm, wiping his lips without a napkin, resting her hand on his thigh. And my boyfriend was eating it up. Looking back, I must give credit to him because I realize now that he was trying to appear reserved, at least when she kept touching him. He did not stop her from touching him, though. Throughout our conversation, she kept inserting not-so-subtle hints that they had been together since they were kids. It's as if she was reminding me that while I had the title of girlfriend, she was still his first love. It's not as if I could just ignore her. She was always in our relationship. I think the only times when she wasn't with us, in physical form or in spirit, were when we were at work and when we had our first coffee date. Other than that, every time we hung out together, he would either exchange messages with her or bring her with us. And whenever he brought her on one of our dates, she would try to get his attention, never leaving the two of us alone. I couldn't count the times anymore when he had to bail out on me because she was sick or sad or needed his help with something. It's a constant issue between us. Most of our fights were about her. He was just dismissive of my cries about her. He kept explaining that they had been together forever and she was used to relying on him. He thought that jealousy was eating me up, not allowing me to think things clearly. Well, jealousy was indeed a problem of mine. He was right about that at least. It's not all in my head, I swear. Whenever she was with us, she would always make snide remarks about me, masking it as a joke. For example, I asked my boyfriend if we could try a new restaurant, and the best friend, who wasn't even supposed to come with us, would laugh at my choice, saying it was a pretentious place that's actually attracting classless patrons. Then she suggested going to another place because she was craving this particular dish. My spineless boyfriend would initially put up a show of agreeing with me, but one pout from the best friend, and that's the end of it. He would just tell me that we would try the restaurant I picked next time. The best friend would then give me the fakest sweet smile, thanking me for allowing her to choose the place. I would retort something like, "No, I didn't even invite you here," which would earn a gasp and a fake hurt look from her and a scolding from my boyfriend. This would cause another fight later when we were alone, and the cycle continued. She was sly, I give her that. Her social media posts were also something to rile me up. She would post pictures of her and him together, often embracing each other. I was there when she took the photos, but she would take the photos when I was a few meters away from them or in the bathroom. I was never in the photos she posted. I guess it's because I was so in love with him that I put up with all of it for 4 years. I don't know why that was, but probably because on the rare times that my boyfriend and I were truly alone, he was the sweetest and most attentive person. It would only get ruined when she sent him a message. But I truly believed that he loved me. He would send me food if he was not with me or send me little things that he thought I needed, like a cardigan or umbrella. We didn't live together, but whenever he came over, he would do chores without me asking him to. He would fix a few things in my flat. He would also share his plans with me. He would tell me how he couldn't wait until we started a family together. He even had names picked already for children. I also met his parents several times. His parents were lovely, especially his mom. She would sometimes call me to ask if I wanted something from their area because they would be visiting him soon and she wanted to bring me food. She also never gave any indication that she wanted him to end up with his best friend. In fact, from what I could tell, she was just civil with her, which was ironic because they claimed that their parents were friends and that's why they were also friends. I thought they would act more familiar with each other. It's not for her lack of trying, however. The best friend, I mean. I remember a few scenes when the best friend would try to get my boyfriend to leave with her in the middle of dinner or ask him to help with something the next day. His mom, as well as his dad, would tell the best friend that they would need their son so he couldn't go with her. A few times his mom would outright tell the best friend that it was not right for their son to accompany the best friend because he already had me. It was so sweet. I didn't think I needed defending, but I got it anyway. And so even though his best friend was a big thorn in my side, everything else was perfect with him. Until it wasn't. It was one of our typical fights about her. We were supposed to go on a weekend vacation, but the best friend apparently got sick, so he had to cancel. I should have been used to it, and I knew whatever ailment she was having is fake as always. I would have given him an ultimatum again, which he would ignore to go to her anyway and just make it up to me later. But an ultimatum never worked anyway, and while I knew that at that very moment that we were done, I told him in a very calm voice that yes, we should cancel and go to her right now. He was taken aback when I said I was coming with him. He made some excuses that he should go alone, but I already took the driver's seat and waited for him to get in. I didn't know what I would find out then. I thought everything was already clear in my mind. But somehow, I still wanted to see it all myself. We arrived at her place, and he tried to go in ahead of me, probably to warn her or something. But I was prepared. I was quick and matched his pace. She opened the door smiling, thinking she was welcoming him alone. Her smile quickly dissipated, shrieking about what I was doing there. I don't think she meant to shout, but she was caught off guard. I asked how she was because I heard she was sick, so we had to rush here and cancel all our plans to make sure she was okay. I didn't know where I got my calmness, because I was feeling giddy inside that I could use her fake sweet tactic on her. My boyfriend apologized profusely to her, saying I insisted to come with him. I said that of course I would come because I was worried about her. It was painfully obvious that she wasn't sick. I don't think anyone feeling sick would be in their sexy lingerie. Pajamas, sure, but not a lacy teddy. When we were inside, I told them that I was glad we cancelled the vacation because if that pushed through, then I would have been engaged now and I didn't want a fiancé who fracked his best friend on the side. I'm so proud of myself for shocking him with that tidbit. I knew he was going to propose. He already asked my friends for advice on a good proposal place. I even saw the ring he bought using his work laptop. He was a lousy secret planner. His best friend was quiet for once, but not because she was found out. It was probably because she was incensed that he was planning to propose to me. And she knew he was proposing, that's why she called him crying and threatening who knows what about to get him there. He told me she was sick just as an excuse so he could run to her. My boyfriend, bless his heart, still tried to deny that his best friend wanted him for herself. He kept explaining between shouts that he never looked at her that way. He even swore that he never loved anyone as he loved me. I had to look at her face after he said that. And for a millisecond I felt sorry for her. She had been fake around me since we met, but at that very moment she couldn't hide how genuinely hurt she was. But I still left. I told him I was done. I would have reconsidered my decision if he ran after me or even tried to stop me. He didn't. I didn't see any more, but maybe she stopped him from going after me. I don't know. But I knew that he could have made it right for the last time but didn't. You know, in movies when couples break up and one of them, usually the girl, would move to another state? That didn't happen here. Just imagine the logistics and the financial strain it would give me had I moved to another state right away. We still worked at the same company and saw each other at work. He tried several times to talk to me, and I indulged him a couple times. He was angry and hurt at the same time by what I did. He did admit, though, that he wasn't completely blind to his best friend's feelings for him. He said he just loved me so much that he didn't care. I told him he must have thought I was stupid. He entertained his best friend's ministrations because he enjoyed them. He enjoyed knowing he had two women in love with him. He just loved being loved, his ego demanded it, which was unfair to me and to his best friend. As much as I hated his best friend, I also knew that if he weren't narcissistic enough to encourage her behavior, she would have at least realized that she didn't have any chance at all. His mom called me when she found out. She was sorry that she raised such a dumb son. She said that although they didn't interfere with their son's relationships, she really hoped he ended up with me. She also revealed that she believed that his son and his best friend would be destructive if they ended up together. After all that drama, I was so glad that our work life wasn't severely affected. He eventually got a job somewhere else, and I stayed in the company for another year before I got a better job offer. I haven't heard from him in a long time. I don't have news as well. Last time I heard, though, he tried dating someone else, but it was the same story with his best friend interfering in his relationship. I think he ended up with his best friend anyway. I just don't know if they lasted long or if they are still together. Frankly, I don't care anymore. I'm now dating someone else who has a healthy relationship with his sisters and a few female friends.
If you liked the story, please give it a thumbs up. Share the video and subscribe for more. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you very much.